Misery loves company as Errol Spence Jr. catching major strays. After Devin Haney loses to Ryan Garcia, also makes an appearance and things are settling themselves out at the 154-pound division. And Errol is more than likely going to get a fight later this year for a belt. Let's talk about those things in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, still living in the afterglow of the tremendous performance by Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney, and been on Twitter, been on different social media platforms in my comment section. And there's been one consistent theme from ex-Devin Haney fans, and I can only call them ex-Devin Haney fans because their tune has sure changed a lot. And that is misery loves company. And they are trying to throw Errol Spence Jr. under the bus to distract from what happened to their boy Devin Haney. Also, Errol Spence Jr. Makes a series of public appearances, and things have sorted themselves out in the 154-pound division. So I'm pretty sure we know when he is going to get his return fight and what his return fight is going to be for. And that is that WBC 154-pound title against Sebastian Fundora. Real quick, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, thank you for coming by the channel. If you're a big supporter of the channel, thank you for supporting the channel. But let's get into this. And shout out to Barbara D. Mattiol. Shout out, rest in peace, John Boy. Also, special thank yous to guys like David Williams and Cal Coolett, the big time, big money sponsors of the channel. Thank you. Oh, and phenomenal show, Big Noop. Thank you, sir. But let's get into this, because when Errol Spence Jr. made this appearance and he was running sprints against an ex-football player named Von Miller, and he also released some videos about going to a sick person's house who was a big fan of his, who was in hospice. And so making different public appearances. This is also around, a very publicized, well-publicized lawsuit between he and his ex-trainer, Derrick James, all this kind of stuff, right? But whenever I would talk about it, whenever you mention it or do a video about it, or you do a video about Devin Haney, and you'll get on your timeline or you'll see in the comments people saying things like this: who got beat worse, Errol Spence Jr. or Devin Haney? Or if somebody is in there, if somebody's talking about the fact that Devin Haney got beat by Ryan Garcia, people will say, well, yeah, that's right, but Errol lost, right? This isn't as bad as Errol losing. Just giving you my opinion on this. First of all, again, misery loves company. People lose every boxing match. Every boxing match, unless it's a draw, somebody loses the fight. Okay, whether it is a big money fight or whether it is not a big money fight, somebody loses, period. And everybody's loss sits independent of the other person's loss. One has absolutely nothing to do with it whatsoever. However, if you want to compare the loss for Errol Spence and Devin Haney, there's absolutely, positively no comparison whatsoever to be made, because one guy, Errol Spence, who was fighting basically one time every 2 years because of a car accident that he had and other holdups with his health, getting into the ring where he was an underdog and losing to the pound for pound best fighter in the world, who Errol himself said was a terrific fighter and everybody knew was a terrific fighter. is nowhere near as embarrassing or bad as a guy that is fighting who is himself considered and props himself up to be the number one, number two pound for pound fighter in the world, who referred to the person he was fighting to as an exhibition fighter, an underwear model, a C-level fighter, who he gave no respect to. The other guy that beat him, Gervonta Davis, gave him no respect for actually beating Ryan Garcia. And then to get thumped like that as a massive favorite, where is the comparison there? Other than the fact that you say that there's a group of fans that one guy has that thought Errol could win and they were disappointed. I guess there must be a comparison in the amount of sadness there is in the people. However, you don't see a comparison in the way that the fan bases are approaching it, because, man, Devin got a lot of excuses right off the gate for losing. Errol, excuses. If you say they came out with from other people over time. Well, whatever the case is, man, no. Not a chance. However, we will see where both these guys go in their career. I think that's the most important thing. Devin keeps his WBC belt and is still considered a champion at 140 pounds. I say considering it because, look, he is the only champion in boxing that is going to be coming off of a loss. They stripped Jermell Charlo of every belt that he had because he did not immediately come back and fight for those belts. We'll see at 154 pounds when he fought Canelo Alvarez, but we'll see. Now, what's next for Errol? Things have seemed like they are starting to kind of fill out. In August, I do believe it's August, you have Terrence Crawford fighting for the WBA regular title, or the WBA world title, which is referred to as the regular title, and a WBO interim title. The WBO interim title he's probably fighting for because they're going to immediately order Errol to Sebastian Fundora to fight him. However, I doubt very much that Sebastian Fundora actually fights him. He may wind up dropping that belt, and I think Errol's going to get that WBC title. Tim Tszyu is not sitting around waiting for the fight with Tim Tszyu is not waiting for the fight with Sebastian Fundora, the rematch with Sebastian Fundora. He's getting right back in the ring with Virgil Ortiz. And so he's probably going to be in line. And I wouldn't doubt if Sebastian Fundora doesn't fight Terrence Crawford right away, that Tim Tszyu would fight Terrence Crawford. But whatever the case is, I really believe that Errol is going to get that shot at that WBC belt, and we'll see him back in the ring. He's more active. And I got to tell you, man, that dude is a really big dude. And he doesn't look fat when he was on the camera with Von Miller, but he really, really, really looks big. Much, much, much bigger than he looked when he was at 147 pounds. Honestly, man, I can't wait to see him get back in the ring. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.